Hey there, this is just a quick video showing my setup for simulator use, specifically for a friend on AVSIM who's surprised it's possible to fly a smooth glide slope with a Logitech 3D Pro. And there it is, and no, I don't have more than one stick. Honestly, I find the 3D Pro to be good enough for general aviation use. For simulators like DCS, I'd probably prefer a better stick, but I've never really had issues with it. It's really all about the skill rather than the hardware after all. For my throttle, I use the Thrustmaster TWCS, which has more hats and switches than you can imagine. It's a little bit overkill for general aviation, but makes a fantastic mapping home for complex simulators like DCS, which is what I bought it for. In any kind of simulator that has a lot of hands-on throttle and stick-based flight systems like you'd find in the FA-18 Hornet. With my extra monitors, I keep a lot of pertinent information concerning my current flight plan up. For instance, I'm about to fly an hour-long IFR flight from my hometown airport to Kilo Echo Golf Charlie, which doubles as a Coast Guard air station near the coast of NC. I typically have Sky Vector or a little nav map up on the left monitor with sectional charts along with my POH. Then on the right monitor, I keep dark mode versions of relevant airport diagrams, departure procedures, approach plates, and the typical kneeboard info. Additionally, I use dimmer software that allows me to negate glare on my side monitors when doing night flights or just in order to place more focus on my central monitor. As you can see here, I have the ILS or LOC runway 10 approach on the left side at Elizabeth City, and then on the right I have my kneeboard info. Last but certainly not least, I have my track hour set up, which tracks head movement using that camera up there to give a realistic 6 degrees of freedom around the cockpit. If I move my head and body around, my movements are exaggerated, allowing me to look around the cockpit with real movement as opposed to having to use a hat switch or very slowly pan around with it. I don't really deem it necessary for general aviation, but it's a must for combat sims like DCS, since you need to do a lot of looking over your shoulder to be able to know when you need to deploy flares and stuff like that. But if you just use some custom keybound camera angles in Microsoft Flight Simulator, that can do the trick easily for you. And you won't need to have track IR, but I will say it helps with the immersion. And for those who are wondering how the track IR actually tracks your movement, you can see on my headset here, there's these 3 little LED lights from a clip that clips onto your headset, and then basically it tracks those lights, and that's how it figures out the movement. There's also a setup you can get where you can wear a hat like a normal baseball cap, and there's this little 3-piece reflector thing you can stick on the top of the baseball cap, and you can track it that way as well. As far as how I switch in and out of my sim configuration to a normal keyboard and mouse setup, I just place my flight stick down near my PC to my right here and move my mouse over to its normal spot. For my throttle, it's actually wired through a hole in the back of this stand here to the left of my desk. I place it in that shelf there, and it's wired over to this USB hub I have extended from the back of my desk here. But yeah, so that's pretty much the basis of my setup. It's not really all that crazy of a setup, but it works plenty fine for me. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.